Hello friends and my lovely viewers, welcome back to the channel of Prettiness. Today we will check out our brand new Headless Knight clan. Let's get started.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. I'm tired of shit.
Our champion's clan trait is called Combat Adaptation. At trait level 18, we gain a 28.6% damage bonus if the number of enemies are greater than or equal to our number of allies in battle. If this doesn't apply, then we will have a 28.6% damage reduction. So basically more enemies compared to our number of team members gives a damage buff, and less enemies than our team will give us a form of defense. I am honestly not so sure about this type of effect due to its criteria. We start off by having the damage bonus, but the moment we kill one enemy, it will switch to the defensive effect instead, and it may not be super useful in all battle formations or scenarios. So we may be very lucky to have this type of clan trait, and it may work in our favor perfectly, or it may not benefit us the way we want it to. I still feel like traits such as brutal and aggressive are more reliable and easier to use on our champions, cause at least then we will know exactly which effect is taking place. And it will be easier to calculate and strategize our team in general. So personally, I do not feel optimistic about this one, and I do not think it reaches the top tier for the time being. But this is just my own thoughts on the matter, so feel free to share what you think in the comment section below. Let us move on to discuss the champions. Both our female and male champions belong to the warrior class, and they look quite interesting. Starting with the active skill of our male, he will ride forward with his horse to deal 696% damage and stun opponents in a cone-shaped area in front. The stun only lasts for about 3 seconds. If any soul energy is present, we will deal additional damage equal to 6.9% of our current constitution for each soul energy stack we have, and this has a limit of 2000% strength. We gain 1 soul energy the moment we activate this skill, so at least 1 stack will be guaranteed. If we are able to acquire 5 stacks of soul energy or more, then our enemy's attack speed will be reduced by 50% for 8 seconds. I feel like this skill is pretty much average. Our male champion basically deals some damage and stuns the enemies. And depending on how many soul energy stacks we have, we will deal more damage and potentially also debuff the enemy's attack speed. The amount of strength and constitution will be important for our active skill to reach its full potential. So that is one thing to keep in mind when we select traits. Our champion's active is kinda semi-AoE based, which means he does not deal single target damage, nor does he blow up the entire field. But he aims in a fan-shaped area, and enemies within that area will take damage. Let us check out his passive skill next. We will gain 3 soul energy stacks for each enemy we kill, or for each ally that dies. But there is a max limit of 9 stacks, which means we can only acquire soul energy from killing 3 enemies, or by losing 3 allies in total. For each stack we have, we will be granted a 10.9% strength bonus. While we have soul energy, control effects will be ignored, and 1 stack will be removed when controlled. When our constitution falls to below 30%, all our soul energy stacks will be consumed to heal our male knights. Our constitution heals by 263% strength per stack. This effect can only trigger once every 10 seconds. Basically, whether we lose allies or crush enemies, we will gain our soul energy stacks. Those stacks give us strength buffs and contribute to our active and ultimate skill. Our stacks also get used as a safety line to heal our champion if constitution drops to a certain point. This skill looks kinda alright in my opinion. We profit regardless of if we are strong or weak in battle, and it is a reliable way of earning our soul energy stacks. Moving on to the ultimate skill next. We will attack the farthest enemy that is within reach 3 times and deal 477% strength damage for each attack. We also deal additional damage equal to our soul energy stacks into 3.5% of our current constitution, and this goes up to 2000% of our strength. The enemies we strike will be knocked back slightly. We gain 2 soul energy stacks upon skill activation, and if we have 5 stacks or more, then each attack will also stun the enemies for 1 second. Simply put, we deal strength-based damage and we deal additional damage depending on our constitution and how many soul energy stacks we have. Those we hit will be knocked back slightly. We gain 2 stacks the moment this ultimate skill is activated, and if we have 5 stacks in total, then each attack of ours will stun the enemy. Our ultimate skill is mainly focused on dealing lots of damage, and our strength and constitution will be very important. I honestly do not feel super impressed by this skill, because it just looks far too simple. It may work out in battle to some extent, but I don't think this champion will come off as overly powerful per se. His active skill is kinda average, his passive looks cool and may be very beneficial, but his ultimate looks disappointing in a way. That being said, let us take a look at the female champion of this clan. In her active skill, she will deal 1139% strength-based damage to enemies in a cone-shaped area, and she will dispel all their buffs, preventing them from gaining buffs for the next 8 seconds. She deals damage and debuffs the enemy. This is a semi-AoE based skill, just like our male counterpart, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. We are still capable of impacting multiple opponents, and the damage looks great for being an active skill. On top of dealing damage, we remove all the buffs from the struck enemies, and we make them unable to gain any new buffs for 8 seconds. It is always great limiting the opponent, and this may be very useful to us in my opinion. We are having a good start with our female, so let us see her passive skill next. She will take fatal damage on behalf of our allies. We gain 1 soul energy stack for every 35% constitution lost by all units on the battlefield. The max acquirable amount is 9 stacks. When our constitution drops to below 20%, we will consume all our stacks to gain a temporary invincibility. Each stack will permanently increase the max constitution by 32% and restore 5.3% of the enhanced max constitution. This effect can trigger once every 30 seconds. So depending on how much constitution our allies and enemies lose, we will gain soul energy stacks. When our female knight's constitution drops to a certain point, we will spend all our soul energy stacks to gain invincibility. It doesn't specify how long this invincibility effect will last for, but I'm assuming it may depend on how many soul stacks we sacrifice. And each stack spent also permanently increases our constitution and expands the max constitution, which sounds really nice, not gonna lie. Overall, I think this skill sounds very promising. It is a sustainable type of skill which allows us to stay alive for longer, so it can be incredibly helpful if you find a way to gain soul energy stacks rapidly. Let us check out the last ultimate skill of hers. We will summon a soul lantern which grants all our allies death immunity for 8 seconds and increases their damage by 13%. At the very end of this effect, each ally will restore a constitution equal to 8.5% of the total damage dealt during the 8-second duration. Wow, this is really impressive. It actually sounds kinda like a broken skill, since our entire team literally is getting death immunity for 8 seconds. And there are no stupid requirements needed in particular for this effect to activate. We simply need to activate the skill itself. Our team members cannot die, they have a damage buff, and depending on the total amount of damage they deal for 8 seconds is how much constitution each ally will restore. I am totally opting for this one, since it can seriously be a game changer. It may depend a little bit on our luck and opponent, etc., but overall, we may experience some amazing stuff in battle if the description of this skill is accurate. That being said, I do feel like the female champion of this clan may have more potential in battle. She is more interesting in general, and her ultimate is kinda what makes her seem more superior compared to the male of this clan. It is just my own thoughts and observations, so feel free to let us know in the comments which champion you think is better, the male or the female. I personally would skip this clan because I'm not so sure if they would reach the meta or top tiers. It will depend a lot on our team comp, and we definitely would need a strong DPS focused team for the female champion to function properly. The clan trait is also kind of weird, and I overall feel like it may be better for us to wait for a better clan, since this one may need a lot of resources and this and that. But it is entirely up to each and one of us, so feel free to do exactly what you want to do. If you think this clan is cool and you want it, or you want to try your luck for fun, it is completely okay to do so. I believe we have covered the topic for today. If you have any questions or thoughts you would like to share with us, feel free to comment below. To partake in our giveaways, subscribe to the channel. You may also leave a like or share the video with your friends if you want to. We highly appreciate your support and contribution. Thank you so much for watching today's video and have an amazing day. Take care, stay foxy, adios, bye!